Hey folks, it's Brant coming at you. Hope you're having a great day today. As I have been producing television for different networks today, I've been thinking about you on Facebook and had a question for you. Do you feel like you're under a fiery ordeal or you're being hard pressed from every side? Well, I've got some encouragement for you. I'm an encourager. That's what I love to do more than anything. I've had an amazing life. I've lived out every dream I've ever had to the extent that I wanted to have it. Even got the nickname Dream Maker over 30 years ago. I love to help people step into their dreams because I learned a while back, thanks to my sweet mama. And I'm about to tell you what I learned from my adopted dad. But sweet mama, successful people make others successful. That's Zig Ziglar, right? So I learned that getting my eyes off me in the height of my little popularity at the time in the early 90s, signing autographs and doing music and television, thinking I was something when I didn't realize at the time you could put a monkey on TV and people will think that there's something just because they're on television. Television doesn't mean anything, folks. You can put anybody on TV, but I'm doing more TV now than ever. And I'm using these opportunities on these different networks to encourage people on television and on social media. And if I asked you earlier, do you feel like you've been hard pressed or been under a fiery ordeal? Well, I was inspired by my adopted dad, David Todd, who taught me the code of knighthood: live pure, speak truth, right, wrong, follow the king. The code of knighthood that any young man or older man will be successful if they learn that code. And from there, I developed some things for men. I called it Band of Brothers, a lot of Band of Brothers organizations. But for almost 30 years, I've taught material that has made the difference in the lives of men and women and children. Different roles for men in this hour: the king, warrior, leader, lover, provide like a king. It's more than money. It's provision. What's ahead? Are you providing an atmosphere where your children, your wife can flourish? Are you providing for your family and working to feed your family, not sitting back and taking money from a Luciferian who wants to shut down the country, but actually being a man and working? That's providing like a king, or protecting like a warrior. Are you protecting your family? Are you ready to protect your family when the time comes? Or leading like a leader? Are you leading in the things you're asking people to do? If you see something that needs to be done, do it. Trash needs to be taken out, do it. Celebrate the creation of your being because you're a man. Lead like a leader. Lead by example. And then, of course, love like a lover. Are you loving? It's not just eros. It's not just sexual, folks. Are you loving people? Loving people and using things, or loving things and using people? Well, I want to love people and use things. I've been used my whole life. How about you? But when someone loves you, they love you based on who you are, not what you do. But to my original question, do you feel hard pressed? Do you feel like you're under a fire? I love swords. I've always collected swords. This is one of the nicest swords I've ever had. It's very sharp. It's a real thing. And a sword goes through a certain process. Swords don't start out this way. Swords start out a piece of steel, and that piece of steel needs to be put into the fire. And from the fire, it needs to be hammered on and then put into cool water. And then the process begins again into the fire, hammered and folded. Some of the swords that I've had before could cut through a small tree. They've been folded over 1,000 times. Okay. But through the fire, the sword is made workable and pliable to be hammered. I don't mean the kind of fun hammer that some of you know about in your past. Now, I'm talking about hammered, man, and shaped on the anvil. Some of you feel like you're always in the fire. You're always being hammered, and not in a good way. We all want the cool water, but we don't want the fire. We don't want the hammering. But I tell you, when you get to a certain stage in your life that you realize the process of going through the fire, going through the hammering, going through the cool water, you begin to love the fire. So my prayer for you is that you trust the process through the fire, through the folding and the hammering and the strengthening, and through the times of cool water refreshing. May you be encouraged during these times so that when the fire comes, you say, let it come. It'll sharpen me and make me strong for the days ahead. May you all be swords in the hands of God for the days ahead. God bless you.